red line, it would mean war. And I said, why are we inspecting the Ministry of Defense? That's not on my target list. They said, well, the Americans have put it on the target list. And I said, why? What's the arms control? We believe that they're hiding documents related to weapons of mass destruction. I said, but you know, it's war. And they said, do your job. I said, okay, I'll do my job. But I said, it's strange that we're sitting there coordinating our inspection timeline with America's ability to go to war. You're telling me I have to create a crisis here so America can bomb in here. And they're all saying, well, yes. And I said, okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to have the inspection on that date. That's my job. They said, good. So I took my team in. We show up at the Ministry of Defense and the guns come out, the whole thing. They're not going to let us in. It's high tension. And the Iraqis come over. They said, what are you doing? And I said, I got to inspect. And they said, you can't. This is the Ministry of Defense. This is war. And I said, you got to let me in. They said, well, we aren't going to let you in. I said, guys, let me just be fair. If you don't let me in, the missiles are going to blow this place up. They're going to kill you. Everybody I'm talking to is going to be dead. You may kidnap me. I may die. It doesn't matter. If you let me in, I can promise you that I'm going to do my job. You know me. If you have weapons of mass destruction stuff in there, I'm going to find it. If I find it, you're screwed. But if you don't have it, you also know me. I will walk away. I'm not here to spy on you, but you got to let me in. They went back to Tariq Aziz. They went back to Saddam Hussein. Meanwhile, Madeleine Albright's in France. She's the Secretary of State. She's with her French counterpart, and she's bragging. Hey, we got the missiles inbound, baby. We're going to get the war we want. The French are going, how do you know? We got it fixed. We got our inside man. He's going to make it happen. That was me.
Yeah.
And the Iraqis came back and they said, okay, Ritter, we'll let you in.
Oh, shit.
I got to take my team in. We spent 16 hours in the Ministry of Defense going through everything. We didn't find anything related to weapons of mass destruction, and we left.
Damn.
There was no war. The Americans are so pissed off at me.
Did you get? I was gonna say, did you get?
Well, no,
some
that
type of
was in March of 1998.
Yeah.
And like I told you, by August 1998, they had shut my program down. That's why I resigned, because they
Gotcha.
weren't letting me do my job anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a saying that people follow, certain higher up people follow, where it says, out of chaos comes order. Is that a thing you think Americans use to their advantage? Chaos comes order?
I think Americans create chaos so that they can dictate an outcome.
Right.
Yeah, because it's easier. You know, first of all, most humans are rational players. So if you sit down with people and say, hey, look, the solution I'm offering is we're going to put cruise missiles in on the site, kill a whole bunch of people, and pick up the pieces, they go, you're a madman. But now if I create chaos, if I create an incident, if I make it look like there is no other choice, then that's the option. And that's the American way of doing business.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to interrupt you while you were telling that story. But just to bring it back full circle, because I asked originally, why did they want Saddam so bad? And it seems to me everything was all good in the 80s. It wasn't until he threatened to attack Israel that we said, no, we need this guy gone.
Well, he was a political problem. George Herbert Walker Bush compared him to Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some other news I'm going
But
to
that was
break for
after
you
he made that threat, right? To
against Israel, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all about Israel.
Okay.
But here's the deal. George Herbert Walker Bush lost his re-election bid, and Slick Willie won the election. And